Hey YouTube friends, one of my tanks is empty. Let's take a look at why and take a look at the fish that have shuffled around. Thanks for tuning in. So this is my 30-gallon grow-out tank. Usually it's a quarantine tank. Recently it became a grow-out tank because I needed some fish to put on some size before I would transfer them over. You notice I'm feeding an empty tank. Have I lost my mind? No, I haven't. I am keeping the beneficial bacteria alive by dropping a little food into it. Where are the fish? The fish that were in there have been transferred to the 60-gallon grow-out, what I sometimes call my my Juvie Hap Nation tank. I brought over some Lethrinops and some Placidochromis, as well as the ruby red that you see right there, a beautiful fish. I also have the Albus Lethrinops and the Placidochromis Giallo Reef Juvies that I am very much looking forward to watching them grow and color up. So they have been moved into this tank, but I needed to make some room in this tank, so I removed some of the larger fish that were in here, which included some of the Electra, some of the deep water haps. I had 3 very nice Electra deep water haps in there, along with the flavescent and a few other fish, the turquoise haps, and a few others that I moved over to the 100-gallon acrylic here. And they all seem to be getting along fine. They are having no trouble in their new tank and seem to have acclimated very, very nicely. Here's the flavescent, a very, very pretty fish, a beautiful fish. And I'm looking forward to watching him mature along with the blue neon, and of course that ruby red, which is, in my opinion, just stunning. Over in the 150, nothing new in this tank. There are a few updates and tweaks that I've made to the tank, which I'll cover in a later video. Tweaks that were also made to the sump, but that's a different subject for a different video. These fish are doing great. Their colors are popping. I think the tremendous water turnover, over 1,500 gallons plus per hour, is really helping. You'll notice here in this feeding and throughout this clip that the polystigma is looking great, as is the Autopharynx tetrastigma. Both fish had been harassed tremendously and are now doing very well. Their fins look great, their colors look great, and things have really calmed down in this tank. When you feed your fish, of course, you want to see them very aggressively going after the food. That is, certainly with African cichlids, a sign of health. The thing I've noticed here, especially with the polystigma, is that they've managed to find a way to adapt. Of course, now the fish are looking for little tidbits that might have gone down into the substrate, something I've watched them do after they eat. It's pretty, they're pretty thorough. I don't think you need any catfish when you have cichlids. At any rate, one thing I've noticed is that the polystigma has found a home in the plants that are just to the right of the tank. When he's not out eating, he actually just goes and camouflages himself in this in the thick of the plants. At first I was a little concerned about him, but I think Nimbochromis, it's not unusual for them to be camouflaged and tucked away. You can see here he has a little sort of peephole that he checks things out from, and he stays nice and comfortable in there, and he eats very, very well, looks very strong and healthy. So I'm not worried that he's spending his time in those plants. He does come out from time to time. The Fusco will chase him, but this fellow here, this beast, is no longer making it his life's mission to beat him up. So that problem, I feel, is resolved. Thank goodness. So there you have it. Share your thoughts below. Comments, rate, share, all that good stuff. Don't forget to subscribe. hit that bell down there so that you get the updates when I post something new. Thank you so much for tuning in. You are appreciated.